yo.
And who loves you? And who do you love?
Hey, yo.
Whoa.
Man, you are a fat slob. Who the hell is this guy?
Dude, I know what you were doing in the bathroom.
Wow, this is freak out.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Live from the new kingdom. It's the Our Big Dumb Mouth podcast. Now, here's your hosts, Midnight Mike,
David.
Joe, and Rich.
Well, we dead now, what's going on, David?
You want to woo woo? The whistles got woo.
Hey, everyone. Welcome back to another fun-filled podcast adventure. Hooray. My name's Midnight Mike, and Cretchet is over there on screen.
I hate this place.
My Twitter
Nothing
didn't load. I
works
had to
here.
reload Twitter.
The medications don't work.
But
I'm not sure what the medications. The coffee's working. Don't know what the medications are.
yeah, and we were before the show. We were celebrating National CB Day.
Not to be confused with National CBD Day.
Not CBD Day, but CBD, Citizens Band Radio.
So one of the sites I have bookmarked is called What Is Today, and it's national. What's it called? Nationaltoday.com, whatever. But of all the things they mention here, they don't mention National CB Day.
Oh boy, it's a pretty nerdy day even for them.
They did say today is National Truckers Day.
Oh, really?
But not National CB Day.
CBs are synonymous with truckers. You can't have one without the other.
But in the entire write-up on National Truckers Day, they don't mention CBs anywhere. So now I'm just irrationally angry and had to go write a country song.
Yeah, I would too. I would be very angry about this. CBs, I think the whole entire lifeblood of the CB community is the trucker community, the one and the same. Do you have a CB, Cretched?
God, I don't think I do. I mean, I have small radios and things. I don't think maybe that counts. I don't know.
I got a handheld CB. I can hook up to my car, but I don't often use it. Even when I go on road trips, I don't take it with me. Maybe I'll take it with me on my road trip next week.
But no one else uses them anymore aside from truckers. You're right.
Yeah. So
it used to be the way to, like, when you're traveling around, you're driving around in the 80s or the 70s or 80s, that was a way to get news, to get traffic updates, to get weather information, to find out where the cops were, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But now, not so much.
Yeah, I'll take it with me. So next Saturday, I will not be here. I'll be in the Chicago area visiting Clown Baby, my brother, and it will be my nephew's first birthday. Right? It's already his birthday, but we'll be celebrating his first birthday. And
he's actually 17 years old.
He's grown up fast.
To that end, and I mentioned this to you a few weeks ago, I am going to be out on not next week, the 15th and the 18th, Wednesday 15th, Saturday the 18th.
Wow, okay.
Got some work travel stuff.
All right, well then I will need a co-host. And I'm asking people.
I suggest Charlie.
I would love to have Charlie if he's available. If not, definitely Chris 23, a.k.a. Skidmark, a.k.a. Abs in a Six-Pack. If not...
get Stan on.
Stan maybe, but there are...
Stan, he shot you down already.
No, not necessarily shooting down, but I know the legit Bat podcast people, they've been wanting to come on again.
In fact, I have a video that that they recommend, or that Joe recommended specifically from Legit Bat. To share today, so I will bring that one up and we'll share it.
They're nice people.
I did find it, so yeah, it's a good show.
Yeah, so I'll be contacting a bunch of people, and we'll see if we can work something out.
Shucky ducky quack quack.
You could contact Shuggy Duggy Quack Quack. I don't know.
You might not reply. Well, we have a lot of news for everyone. I spend endless hours preparing for a show, and then 5 minutes before showtime, I pretty much throw it all out and decide I don't want to talk about any of it. I just want to read silly news and have fun. But I know there's some serious news out there. But it's so serious, I want to ignore it. Like, I know about it, I recognize it, but I don't want to really tell anybody about it. So I'm in conflict. I'm in internal conflict. But according to the title of this podcast, which is OBDM 1333. It's a crazy number to get to that. And it's titled
1333. Wow.
Yeah, 1333. It's titled Escaping Our Simulation, the Saudi Review, and we have strange news. So
Saudi Review related to the comedy festival?
Yeah, they're back.
I have Dave Chappelle news for the comedy festival.
Well, then maybe we'll do that.
Well, we have to do the simulation thing. You can't just bring it up and not do it.
I know. I guess we'll bring it up and we'll talk about it, and we'll see if we can get out of this crazy thing that we may or may not be in. But it's starting to look like at least some scientists are taking the theory more seriously than they were 10, 15 years ago. So and Popular Mechanics is writing about this. Other people are writing about it. So they're like, hey, if we're in this thing, how do we get out of it? And we're going to see if we can figure that out right now. And I don't know if I trust people, even if they're scientists, who just figured out that we're in a simulation and are taking the topic serious. Like, they haven't pondered this philosophical idea as long as some other people in the field. And
this conundrum?
Yeah, they might get a bullseye. They might just off the top of their head come up with the idea to get us the heck out of here. But I don't know. It's kind of like going to a person who doesn't study UFOs at all and ask them, what's the source of the UFO phenomena? What is the origin? What are their theories? And they'll throw their arms up in the air and go, it's all BS, because they haven't spent any time looking into the topic, reading books on it, looking at different arguments about the same phenomenon. So they might get lucky. You won't know. Same with these people who are just now considering this idea. And here's a headline up on screen. A scientist reveals how to escape our simulation.
Okay.
So he's going to tell us right now.
Al Gore is not on board.
I would be curious to know if Al Gore even considers the idea that we're in a simulation. It might change his view on climate change and how he can address the problem that he perceives.
Well, step one is obeying the first law of holes.
That is.
We need to obey the first law of holes.
Step one is obeying the first law. You don't even have to know what the law is. You have to obey it.
Someone should self-publish a book called The First Law of Holes. No, should call it Obeying the First Law of Holes.
Yes.
Al Gore on the cover. And you could probably sell that into a certain men's community pretty well.
Oh, absolutely. The same people who buy those Bigfoot fan fiction sexual novels that I have probably 3 of here in my bookcase because people send them to me.
I periodically read through for entertainment value.
They're silly and they're fun.
I like taking those on airplanes and reading them there.
I often think, like, if there is this incredible, like, worldwide catastrophe and someone takes over my house, and then they are, and then a year from now, once everything settles down, but we're gone, they go through my book collection, and they're looking for things to read for entertainment. They'll find nothing but UFO books, paranormal books. They'll find, the Forgotten Realms books, Dragonlance, and then they'll find my stash of Bigfoot erotica.
It's nothing but GURPS and Bigfoot erotica in here.
Pretty much, yeah. That'll really make them think. But here we go. We're going to talk about escaping our simulation.
Oh, I thought it was the first law of holes. Sorry.
I don't know anything about the first law of holes. We played a clip. We don't know. If you want to look up the first law of holes and tell us later.
The first law of holes is stop digging is what he means.
Okay.
We're doing it.
All right. Well, according to Popular Mechanics, and who wrote this? This is written by
Popular Mechanics. That's
the author is Darren Orff.
Oh, AI. Yeah.
Darren Orff, ORF. The red pill or the blue pill, the famous question that frames the entirety of the Matrix. That's the question, the position that is propositioned to Keanu Reeves. In the 1999 film, a surprising, resolute Neo takes
I
the
thought the red pill was to be misogynist and racist or something based on the story last time.
That's the liberal ultra, or not even ultra left wing, just the more liberal leaning view of it. But according to this, Popular Mechanics, a surprisingly resolute Neo takes the red pill and decides to see how far down the rabbit hole goes. And the moment is one of the most iconic scenes in sci-fi history. But it also explores a relevant philosophical question. If reality is a simulation, can humans decide to leave it? Well, I think we would all like to know. Can we get out of here?
Mm-hmm.
University of Louisville computer scientist Roman Yampolskiy. I think I got that right.
You start with Louisville, too, which cracks me up.
It's Louisville, Kentucky. It's Louisville. Fine, we call it Louisville.
It's Louisville, yeah. You got to, it's back of your throat, Louisville. University of Louisville,
computer scientist Roman Yampolskiy explores the very question in a detailed post outlining how to possibly hack our way out of this our simulated existence. The idea that humans possibly live in a simulation is a surprisingly old one. French philosopher René
I'm going to see if you can get there.
René Descartes.
Wrong. Yes. Descartes.
René Descartes tossed around the idea back in the 17th century, but the idea really captured the science community when Oxford University philosopher Nick Bostrom wrote an influential article on the possibility of a simulated reality back in 2003. Bostrom
Wait. Why are they crediting this guy with writing an article in 2003 when they already referenced The Matrix, which was 4 years before that?
Exactly.
That's right.
They already referenced the Matrix from 1999. Why do they got it? That popularized the idea. This Oxford philosopher wrote a paper in 2003 that no one read.
And it goes back to what? William Gibson's Neuromancer in 1983?
Yeah, Johnny Mnemonic.
Well, that was in 80.
That was in 1995.
95, thank you.
95. Another Keanu Reeves movie. But Bostrom put the odds of us living inside some super advanced alien computer at about 20%. Okay, it's not bad.
Oh, really?
20%. I mean, that's kind of high. So the Louisville professor continues this tradition of exploring the boundaries of the possible simulation and specifically exploring ways to escape it. He pulls examples from the real world, like hacks, exploits found in video games, as well as other more philosophical meanderings about attempting to communicate with our simulator overlords with an avatar. He also includes a compendium of sorts of escape plans theorized by other thinkers, which include generating an incalculable paradox or stressing the simulation's computational capacity, such as requiring millions of people to meditate at the same time, then suddenly become very active. I think that's...
So what if instead of the meditation thing, because they're saying that like all the individual, what would you say, the nodes within the simulation,
yes,
they all start meditating, that uses brain power, that uses computing power, that overloads the simulation, that causes it to break down. What if we all just generate more AI, funny videos, cats, songs, pictures, all that fun stuff? That requires more computational power within the simulation, maybe causing the simulation itself to stutter.
That could be. The more data we make actually may create some sort of we're generating too many logs, and that may overweigh the system. It's possible. There is a theory about that. I'll get to that in a bit. Not this article, but the article admits that there are some compelling bits of evidence that are potentially damaging to the idea of escaping the simulation, or if there's a simulation at all. For example, knowledge of the simulation itself doesn't seem to impact its existence, nor do religions, which appeal to some outside simulator, have no measurable effect or intervention. Also, running incredibly complex machines that deliver astounding results, such as the Large Hadron Collider, appear to have no effect on any sort of simulation. Well, not that we know of.
But haven't they talked a lot about that experiments from particle accelerators and super colliders and things like the Large Hadron Collider that would be potentially causing cracks in either in our reality or showing us things that wouldn't be possible otherwise? Couldn't those be harbingers of limits to the simulation?
It very well could be. And also, depending on their model of the simulation, we might not know if we're in a container based, like a Kubernetes based simulation. If we broke one
Docker,
yeah, if we're living in a basically one big Docker container, and it goes down, well, another one spins up, and in that one it works. So if a variable or something cracked or changed in the old one, we might not realize it. Hence the Mandela effect. Not a lot of people might realize the change, and the simulation carries on as normal. But it depends on what model you're following here. We'll finish up this article, though. Of course, there is the question of why humans want to leave the simulation after all.
Why not?
Because people don't like to be confined. People don't like to be trapped. They don't want to feel like they're imprisoned in something. They might be, but they don't want to feel that way.
They just don't want to know it.
Yeah, they just don't want to know about it. Ignorance is bliss to a certain degree, and maybe it's best for most people not to know that kind of information. After all, Neo's experience exiting the Matrix wasn't exactly pleasant. The university professor argues that access to the baseline reality could increase our computational ability to give us access to the real knowledge rather than the simulated physics of our known universe. The consequences of such an escape plan is unknown. The professor admits that such investigations come with existential risks and even posits the possibility that simulators have rebooted the simulation with improved security features, effectively wiping out our collective memory. It's likely impossible that we'll discover with 100% certainty whether we live in a simulation. For now, we have to stick to the blue pill. No, we don't have to stick to the blue pill. No, we don't have to. We can dance in the middle and be Chad-pilled. We can be gray-pilled. We can be sorry-pilled. Any kind of pill you want, we can do that.
Can we be black-pilled?
Black pill, that's very dark. I consider myself to be kind of gray-pilled, it's more of a Taoism kind of go with the flow kind of pilled.
You don't like the nihilistic aspect of just, this is all terrible and
no, I don't.
It's all going down the drain.
No, it's not fun, and it's a real downer to be around those people. It really is. If you think about it, it's not fun. There has to be a point to the simulation other than just going through all this stuff over and over and over again. But he does bring up a good point here in this. I think this is written, like when it comes to all the levels of possibly understanding this reality, 1 through 10, 1 being the least knowledgeable, 10 being the most knowledgeable, this is written at a level 2, where, like I said, this person, Darren, just started to consider this and really proposed no real ways to get out of here, and didn't even get into the ideas of this professor. Just kind of danced around a little bit because he wanted to pop out an article that attracted attention. So,
and it worked because we're talking about it.
We're talking about it because I think this is a leading philosophical model of our reality. As as religion is not as big as what it once was, I would say even 20 or 30 years ago, people are looking for something new to believe in. And just because we are possibly in a simulation doesn't mean that there's not a God. I know they put it in here that the simulation is run by alien overlords or simulator overlords, which is a way to avoid saying, he didn't even suggest that it's possibly run by God or the angels or whatever you want, whatever kind of religious terminology you want to use. It's not even in here. He's coming at it from a purely scientific, there is no God stance, and that there has to be some other entity running this that we could identify with. And no religious take on this at all. Not that I have one, but this person removes it right now in this article. So there are some good books that I think could start you at the, I would say, level 3 to 6 paradigm of the simulation. If you want to get there. And so the first one I would say that people should read or look into is called My Big Toe, which was written by Thomas Campbell. The other one that you could look at, it's more of a novel, it's more of a fictionalized novel. It's called The Holographic Universe by Michael Talbot. And so he goes, he doesn't really talk about it from an academic standpoint. More, it's a story that conveys the overall philosophy of a simulated world. And then the one I really like is a book called the Simulation Hypothesis. This guy also wrote the multi I think parallel universe hypothesis, where this is Rizwan Virk, and this guy is a former video game programmer. He's written several books on this, and he applies video game logic and to our overall world. And so I just I took their philosophies, their views on the world, and I ran it past ChatGPT and compared and contrasted with this article, which is, like I said, like a level 1 or level 2 understanding of what's going on. And okay, so when it comes to like this article and what it suggests in relation to the books I just mentioned, is it possible to escape the simulation? Is what this person is talking about even remotely feasible for us? So the article goes on to say, getting out of the matrix, generating paradoxes in an effort to get out of here. So that's the first idea that the professor from Louisville proposed. So create an incalculable paradox, logic contradictions that the simulation engine can't resolve. So that stresses, in theory, the computational load of the simulation, and it breaks down. Well, wouldn't that, at the same time, if we did that, if we just broke the simulation, wouldn't everyone just freak out? And that kind of assumes that the simulation is being run from outside yourself, whereas some of these books that I mentioned suggest that our brains, they are themselves the computers that generate the simulation that we're in.
So it's like all distributed computing.
Yeah, exactly. So each one of our brains is an active participant in generating the simulation as we view it, as we explore it, and it's required. So you would have to hijack yourself in order to disrupt the simulation. But that also goes to his second idea, where he was talking about everyone meditating at once, which is an interesting idea. I think there might be, if you could somehow convince 8 billion people on Earth to meditate at once, I think we would see some serious stuff happen. I think.
And then after that, convince 8 billion people to all jump up in the air at once.
You will dislodge Earth from its orbit. You shouldn't do that. We'll spin right into the sun.
That's how we're going to get out of the way of 3-Eye Atlas.
Yeah, maybe. It's the only way to do it.
All right, everyone on one side, jump. We'll move the earth.
But he also suggested that somehow we could communicate with our simulators or talk to as he said, the alien overlords that are running this thing. And to a certain degree, I think that's what those people out in the desert, like Dr. Greer and even the new guys out there who created a new UAP psionic summoning of UAP thing are trying to do, where they're trying to use remote viewing and psychic people who are just so happen to be mostly homosexual and left-handed to summon.
What?
Yeah, you didn't. Yeah, that is the assertion from Jake Barber, the UFO whistleblower who claimed he was a helicopter pilot who picked up an alien extraterrestrial white egg off the desert floor and transported it. And so he has a new group where he's using gay psychics who are mostly left-handed to use their mind powers to summon UFOs out of the sky. And they're filming these things. They're filming these orbs, these lights, and they're claiming that they're making contact with these entities. So that's kind of what he's talking about in this article, is contacting our alien simulators, but we're assuming that they're in charge of our simulation and they're not trapped here too, which I think is quite the leap to make. They're very well could be trapped in this simulation as well, and they want out too.
Are they in the simulation, or are they're trapped overseeing the simulation?
I think they're trapped in here with us.
So it's not just like simulations in simulations in simulations. It's simulations all the way down.
It's just they're trapped here just at a different level. They have access to different directories than we do, but they're still in here. Okay, They can get the VAR log. They can get to opt directory. We're stuck in our home directory. Okay, it's not bad here.
Do they have sudo?
They probably have a form of sudo. They can probably do some root commands if they so choose. But they still are in the simulation with us. And they want out too. So I suspect that there is a way for them to get out, but it requires us to get out. And in this article, they also say, hey, you can use video game exploits, like look for bugs, look for weak points in the underlying simulation. But they don't really describe what those bugs or weak points would be. And so where the article kind of falls short right there, where you really should point out, like, what would be a practical hack that we could do? What would be a bug in the simulation that we could exploit? There's no example. We're going to have to talk to the professor or harass him on Twitter, which I think we should do. We also could we could ask for aid, external help to get us out of here. I don't know who that would be, but that's what it also kind of alludes here. Is like we could ask. Maybe that includes in prayer, meditation. Is that we're seeking help from a higher power to get us out of here? But it really doesn't. The article does not specify who that would be. Are we asking for help from an angel? Are we asking help from a demon? Alien overlords? It's not specific. And like I said, this is like a level 2 hypothesis from this article. And so when it comes to this overall article and what the books that I mentioned, its view on this article, well, the judgment really is. So in the view of My Big Toe by Campbell, the article itself, according to the book, it's too mechanical. The article assumes we're running in something akin to Linux in the sky, which probably is not the case. As I said, we're most likely we ourselves are generating the simulation. And it also assumes, the article assumes that the simulators want to be signaled, which they might not want to be. And so there probably effectively is no escape unless you die. according to
Jeez.
according to Thomas Campbell. That the
Do you even escape when you die, though? I mean, when they just recycle?
here's the
put you back
thing.
in?
I think so. You got to know the keywords, and this is what the point.
Klaatu Nicked Barada.
That is kind of the point of what Howdy Medeski was getting at with his expeditions of the World's Fairs, which coincidentally enough, I have a commemorative cup right here of the World's Fairs, is that when he came on our show, he was actively seeking a way to get out of this matrix. And he said basically you have to essentially have no attachments, no material attachments, no emotional attachments, and you have to be basically completely zen. Like, unfortunately, I hate to use the word apathetic, but that's kind of what he is getting at. You have to be apathetic to your surroundings, your conditions, and then you might be able to escape. And you still got to go through some sort of life review of your existence in the simulation, and you have to tell them, no thanks, I want to move on. And at least we get that opportunity. And that's according to him. Howdy. We don't know if that's really the case. So
It's as good a theory as anything.
According to the guy who wrote computer games and wrote the multiverse books that I mentioned above, well, in his opinion, that there is no real escape from this simulation or video game that we are in, and unless you can find a glitch and reach the end game and somehow meet the devs. But also, he says karma and soul progression functions the same way as RPG mechanics. So you got to traverse the obstacles in your life. You got to level up. You have to confront the vices and addictions or the things that really throw you for a loop in your life. Understand why they occur in order to progress on. And that there's no easy hack, people, according to that author. There's no way to really get out of this unless you become a better human, which is difficult, okay? I know. Everyone wants a life hack to get out of this thing, but no, you got to become a better human, according to him.
That sounds like work.
It does sound like a considerable amount of work, yes. But GPT did give me a nice little map. I'll see if I can share this on screen of like how, like, it's not really how to, just maybe where you're at in the simulation. So GPT was nice enough to give this map to me. Maybe I can share it with people. Let's see here. And bring it up on screen, please. Come on, let's go. Come on, GPT. You're right here. So here's the simulation escape map. So you have to increase your karma, okay? And you need to become love for all. And only then can you escape from the simulated reality that we're in, okay? It's that easy. You got to become love. It looks good on paper. Hard to do in practice, considering all the news that's going on around you and how fragmented we become as a society and a civilization. Very hard to become love. Very difficult to do. And it's not possible for your average person. No, you really got to practice. So while this article from Popular Mechanics does spark a lot of fun theories and ideas, it's not practical for most people. You know, it's not. And it's possible that all the logs that we generate, all the data that we are now creating with AI is being written to, I guess you can call them data warehouses. They're being stored there. And I know there's at least one author out there, his name escapes me right now, that believes that all the dark matter in the universe are basically logs. It's basically just information. And that the same information that we generate just by moving around or making AI it's not that dissimilar than dark matter that is out there in the universe that is information about the universe that it occupies. And so the more data we create, the heavier it gets down here. So food for thought there. Pretty weird idea.
Stop doing stuff.
Stop doing stuff, or else the data is going to get too heavy, and we're going to create a black hole of information down here. And then there's no more simulation, okay?
But that's good, right?
I guess if you want to live in a void for the rest of your life, sure.
So if we were able to end the simulation, would that also cause us to escape the simulation?
Possibly, but then we would go to base reality. And is base reality just a simulation of current reality? Because people say, hey, this is a simulation. Well, a simulation of what? I don't like that. It assumes that we're simulating something else. And that if we escape this reality, we're just going to go to something similar, just on a different level. Kind of like in the movie 13th Floor, where in that movie, spoilers, people, that in that movie, they made simulations, and then within that simulations, they made other simulations. And so it was very difficult for them to even understand if they were in base reality or not. They had no idea. They just they assumed they were in base reality, but really they didn't really know. And that movie also came out in 1999, and I guess when it came to box office results, did not do as well as The Matrix.
Well, The Matrix was pitched or advertised as an action movie, an action adventure sort of thing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I do think the article is on something. I like the meditation angle. That's a good one. I think using prayer or the power of thought, that is one way to interact with the simulation or the API. Manifestation is a real thing, and all the things that we see as a result of this of the simulation, like paranormal stuff, real world events, I think it is impacted by the simulation and the power of thought. I think that's my conclusion after reading all these weird articles after 20 years, is that our thoughts are very, very powerful.
So if thought is powerful, if thought draws upon the processing power that operates the simulation, and the concept that if everyone was meditating deeply and thinking hard, that might cause the simulation to stutter or whatever that may be. And we've also had numerous stories recently about people, their brains getting less developed because they become so reliant on AI and other things. Is that simply playing into the simulation now because it's reducing the computing power that each person is drawing upon with their
we're thinking less.
Their mush brains.
So how would thinking less impact the simulation? I think, the less we think, that means that the simulation is going to have to work less and less. And with if it's going to work not as hard because people are not thinking as much, then we might start seeing goofier and goofier things. We might start seeing, at least in my opinion, we might be seeing more examples of the Mandela effect. We might actually start seeing more paranormal events. We might start seeing more things out of the ordinary to the people who are still kind of thinking. And so I think a minority of people who are thinking will start to observe goofy crap and things that just don't make sense because the information that is being presented, the simulation doesn't have to work as hard to come up with a cohesive storyline anymore. It can kind of break down because not as many people are thinking. They offloaded their thinking to LLMs. That's just my hypothesis. Maybe I'm wrong there. I don't think the simulation is going to get stronger if we think less. So,
well, or could it be getting stronger in the sense where it's able to more effectively manipulate people who are within the simulation?
It's possible.
We've had this phenomenon recently of the NPCs, so that people basically they have their brain turned off, they're just on idle.
Yeah.
Are they more susceptible to things that the simulation is showing them?
I would say so. Like one of the more recent phenomena that I've seen is that there is a group of people that have no inner monologue, and they don't think, or at least they don't hear a voice in their head when they read a book, or if you ask them to picture like the color orange, or just the fruit orange, they can't picture it in their head. But you can communicate with these people. You can talk with. They seem intelligent. It's just they process information differently, and they are being called NPCs. And maybe they are. They're just a really advanced form of NPCs, and they go along with the narrative. I could make a hypothesis that everyone who does not have an inner monologue most likely got the COVID shot. Am I wrong about that? Is there anybody who listens to the show who doesn't have an inner monologue? I would like to know that. I will think to myself, and I hear voice.
If you don't have an inner monologue, do you know you don't have an inner monologue? If you've never experienced that, how does that work? It's like people who don't have a sense of humor, and there's studies out there that show that something like close to 30% of the population doesn't have what we would consider a traditional sense of humor, or a commonly developed sense of humor, and they will laugh based on social cues and what other people are doing. But if you're like talking with them one-on-one and you make some wry comments or something, there's no reaction at all because they don't understand humor. They've simply developed a behavioral technique to look like they understand humor because everyone else does that. I wonder if those same people who don't have an inner monologue, is that the same sort of thing? And how do you get them to experience that? I don't know.
Yeah, it's an interesting thought process. I'd like to know. Like, does anybody listen to this show? Don't have an inner monologue? Cannot imagine certain things? Like I saw an interview with somebody who claims to not have an inner monologue, and when they read books, they're able to read books very quickly, but when they read the book, they don't hear the inner monologue in their head. It's almost like they just absorb the information as if they were a computer without mentally processing. I mean, I read incredibly slow, people. You know that. And so when I read a book,
does your inner monologue mispronounce things?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I will struggle with words nonstop. And it's like, I really should be 5 pages deep, but I'm stuck on the second paragraph.
Think about it.
Yeah. But I'll just, here's a headline here. I just wanted to bring this up as we're talking about the power of the mind. And this is, can positive thinking really affect the course of disease? That's what this is. This comes from Eon.
It's Christian Science.
Is that Christian Science?
Uh-huh.
Really?
Yep.
So the power of prayer.
Tenets. Well, it's not so much prayer, it's belief. It's thinking good thoughts can I'm paraphrasing and pissing off a lot of people right now, but thinking good thoughts can affect the body's mechanics and fight disease.
Well, I believe that. I'm actually on board with that, especially after reading a number of Professor Dean Rain's books, specifically Supernatural and Real Magic, where he documented in clinical trials that the power of thought can have measurable outcome on a person's health and well-being. Now, it comes down to the quality of those thoughts. Prayer can be powerful, but if you're a practiced prayer, say like a Buddhist monk or someone like that, who really has a honed-in focus, that seems to have a more measurable impact than if you just hired some drunk off the street to pray for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it comes down to...
What, they said they're better at praying?
Yes, I think that there are people that are definitely better at praying than other people. It comes down to focus and intention.
I think if prayer is genuine, it doesn't matter who's doing it.
Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who you are. It matters how good you are at it.
I'm saying that based on somebody who currently is employing over 200 homeless people to pray for various things.
Well, I mean, that's quite a business.
Mm-hmm. I rent that out at thoughtsandprayers.com.
Well,
damn it, I should register that domain.
You really should. Hired prayer. I think there's something. I mean, not but a few weeks ago we talked about how a couple days before Charlie Kirk died, the
somebody has that domain and they have it redirecting to an AP article about the Los Angeles fires.
Thoughtsandprayers.com. Okay,
yeah,
that sucks. We need that. But for the weeks before Charlie Kirk died, remember, there was an author, I think from Jezebel.com, who hired TikTok witches to put
that's right.
A curse on Charlie Kirk. And he died. Now, it could be just a coincidence, but if you read Dean Radin's books, I think you might have a different view on curses and effigies and things like that. They are powerful tools, and it's not necessarily you're controlling fate. You're just maybe hastening the process or redirecting some stuff. You're redirecting the flow of time just a little bit.
Well, so whether or not you believe in the magical thinking of curses or not, why would you go out and now make it a financial a financial operation, now putting real money behind it to do that in a quote-unquote joke to curse somebody you don't know because you're that mentally deficient? So everyone at Jezebel they can fuck right off. So essentially what this article is saying that can positive thinking really affect the course of a disease? And what it is saying, at least when it comes to modern Western science, is that stress is an underlying, I don't want to say catalyst, but it compounds existing disease. And so thinking positive or believing that you will overcome something may reduce the stress on your body. Hypothetically, you're going through cancer struggles. So stress reduction, because your belief that you're going to get over it, could lead to a much more quick recovery, or it might extend your survival of the cancer because you're believing you're going to get better, so you're not as stressed about the outcome because you have put your faith in something else. And so it basically says stress. That's the underlying killer here that really can take you down. If you're constantly worrying and you're constantly agonizing over if you're going to get better, that's a big thing. But I also think that comes down to a lot of things in life, whether it's an illness or financial. You know, a lot of people out there struggle financially, and for a good chunk of my adulthood, being stressed about money, that is a tough one. And it does put you into a mental paradigm to where if you're constantly stressed about money, you might not believe that you have the ability to bust out of it, and you ultimately believe that you're going to live in poverty for the rest of your life, and it's a repetitive cycle. So I think belief is very powerful in order to break out of these horrible loops that we're in sometimes. So, all right, let's get out of here. This has become way too philosophical and not fun at all. Hey, you're the one who typed it in the title.
I know. Sorry, people.
It is definitely it's an interesting concept. It goes off in some interesting directions. And it becomes kind of very deep very quickly.
It does. I'm just going to read down some headlines here. You guys can let me know what you want to talk about. So there are more mystery drone incursions in NATO airspace. So that's
sure there are
sparking a European-wide concern over hybrid warfare. There are claims that this is Russian, and it's really unknown at this point. But they're accusing Russia of having a shadow fleet on the doorstep of Europe, and they may be violating, German airspace, Polish airspace.
No,
really,
I'm 100% convinced these are NATO drones, or more likely Ukrainian drones, doing this because NATO has been on a big push to get NATO member states to pay more money into the military-industrial complex to fight Russia. So why not just have, they've got drones over your house right now, Mike. You need to pay more money.
Well, we experienced this late last year with the drones over New Jersey.
Yeah, but that was from the Iranian mothership. Remember that?
I remembered. That was one of the stories that came out, that it was an Iranian mothership off the coast of Jersey launching drones. Biden's denied that anything was going on at the time. But then his press secretary indicated that they did know but didn't want to say anything.
Come on, man.
And then Trump said, "Oh, I know what it is, and I'll tell people as soon as I get into power."
Yep, right after get those Epstein files out there.
And then he got into office, and he says, "Oh, it's very interesting, but there's nothing to worry about."
Oh, well.
That's not an answer. That answer sucks, Trump. But that's where we're at. So there's drones everywhere up in the sky, kind of where they belong.
Where they belong.
Nah.
You put that drone back.
A friend of mine wrote a blog article titled "The Right and the Left Deserve Each Other," and he was one of my former roommates over the years. He's a smart guy. I'll post that blog article in the podcast description if you guys want to read it. He's a smart guy, very centrist, and just want to promote his blog. And here's another headline here: Going to war. U.S. military preparing to seize ports and airfields in Venezuela as Trump declares full-scale war on the drug cartels. So there we go.
Oh, well.
They really
Yeah, this is
hear about that part.
Well, we're getting ready to seize ports and airfields in Venezuela, which is news to me. But here we go. This comes from the Sun. So believe what you want. But yes, we're preparing to seize ports and airfields. America's military is preparing to seize ports and airfields in Venezuela. It's reported as Donald Trump declared a full-scale war on the drug cartels. President stunned Washington by formally declaring the U.S. is in a non-international armed conflict with the Latin American terrorist organizations. With Latin American terrorist organizations, okay. And it's got a friendly, helpful map right here of where our ships are and F-35s, and then where we might be attacking. So that's nice. Okay. Let's see here. The move, revealed in a secret memo to Congress, gives Trump sweeping wartime powers to strike, kill, and detain cartel fighters without trial. And it comes as the Pentagon quietly builds a force big enough to grab and hold territory on Venezuelan soil. U.S. planners are now have enough firepower positioned to seize key ports and airfields if ordered, according to the Washington Examiner. Off Venezuela's coast sits a formidable armada, Navy warships and submarines, 10 F-35 Lightning stealth jets, and the 22nd Marine Expeditionary Unit that has 2,200 Marines with Harrier jump jets and helicopters. So we could be going to war, Cratchit. We're building up over there, building up big time.
No, it's all made up. I'm looking for information on them actually seizing airfields.
Yeah.
There is video if you want to hear Trump talking about this. But
yeah, kind of. Kind of do.
So I think they're generally misinterpreting and pushing this out just to kind of stir up shit.
It's possible, but I also think Trump does want to appease the military contractors in the Pentagon, and you got to give them a war, so why not do this one?
Dang it, I'm trying to get...
Food, bacon.
Yes, they should find out what happened to the food bacon.
Food bacon, ham. Food bacon, ham.
Oh, damn it. So the website this links to is one of those terrible sites as you scroll through, it automatically loads the next story.
Oh, that's nice.
And then you can't easily get back to the previous story.
You just got to scroll up to the top.
No, see, it's
top.
loaded. You got to go to the tippy top. All right. We get the archive version because...
Remember, Q said Trump saying tippy top. That was a clue. That was a marker.
Tippy top.
Yeah.
So the article you referenced, or the article you read, said that the plan is to seize airfields.
Mm-hmm.
The article they are referencing, which then leads to an NBC report, says any such actions would involve lightning in and out operations against specific targets rather than efforts to seize territory. So
just strike and get in, get out.
And also, if you recall, was it 2 years ago? We had a bunch of guys who got captured. Was it in Venezuela?
Yeah, they were rabble-rising.
Special forces guys, and they were wondering what's going on in there. So.
And they were rabble-rising.
And this is bad news. Bad things are happening.
Or you guys could go back and read the 1988, I think, book from Tom Clancy, Clear and Present Danger, where they do this against the cartel in Colombia.
Oh yeah, I just watched that movie not too long ago. Harrison Ford, amazing job. Yeah,
I don't know. This does not. I think they're making a mountain out of a molehill here.
But I disagree. I think we're going to do something more than bombing boats.
I mean the mountain of the molehill out of the No, we're gonna send 40 ships off the coast of Venezuela and invade another country to fight the cartels in Venezuela. I think this is a pressure tactic on Venezuela. They've been after Venezuela for years.
Oh yeah.
Ever since dang it, what's the guy's name?
Maduro.
Not Maduro. He's current.
Chavez.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hector
Yeah.
Chavez.
His name is David.
David Chavez. But we won't spend too much time on that. There's other headlines here. There's a hush-up going on. Mystery deepens over GOP aide who died after setting herself on fire in her own backyard as the congressman.
Like for fun?
I think it's an accident.
Well,
this is kind of eerily reminiscent of Joe Scarborough, where someone died and they're not talking about it. Here it is.
You mean where he tripped and grabbed his intern and allegedly crushed her head against the side of his desk? Allegedly.
Let's see here. I think there's a little bit of a video to this. Maybe we can just get a quick rundown.
I forgot to give you the video for that Trump one. I guess we're past that.
So we're past Trump. Past Trump.
There'll be more soon.
Here's the congressman's aide. Let's see here. Maybe give this a quick rundown, please. Quick rundown. Here we go.
Aldi police, firefighters, and paramedics were called out to Santos Aviles' home on Saturday night. Police called it a disturbance. A family member told us Santos Aviles was transferred to CMC, actually airlifted to CMC, to be treated for extensive burns. The medical examiner's office says she died on Sunday. Uvalde police say they're working with the Texas Rangers to investigate this.
All right, that was extremely unhelpful.
Wow, that was super helpful, lady.
That was extremely unhelpful.
I do like, and I've noticed this is increasing since the 90s, but even now they really love to lean into the native accent of somebody's name, regardless of whether or not they're from there or not.
Well, I mean, they're from Uvalde, Texas, which had that horrific school shooting.
I know, I get it, but it's very much a media thing. Like NPR loves to do it.
So this is a bizarre case, centers on the death of 35-year-old married mom and longtime political staffer who set herself ablaze in Uvalde, Texas. Oh, boy. Young mom.
Accidentally or not?
She worked as a regional district director for the representative of Tony Gonzalez, whose district spans San Antonio to El Paso. So is this person representing Joe, our buddy Joe? Maybe.
I think so.
Authorities say she doused herself in gasoline before she went up in flames on September 13th. No one else is believed to have been present. Her devastated mother revealed chilling final words, telling the San Antonio Express that her daughter screamed, "I don't want to die," before collapsing.
What, was she possessed?
That's crazy.
Or was this an MK Ultra gone wrong?
Maybe. She was airlifted, where she died the next day. Her exact cause of death is still not confirmed.
I'm pretty sure that I know what the cause of death.
It might be, yeah. Despite the unusual circumstances and the mom's claim about final words, police have classified the incident as self-immolation and say no foul play is suspected. Why? Why don't you believe the mother and assume foul play and do a real investigation?
Is this being investigated by the same Uvalde Police Department who refused to go into that school during the shooting about 4 years ago?
Remember? I forgot. That was the thing, is that they all waited outside where those kids died.
Mm-hmm.
But public records tied to her death included 911 call, police reports, and any video evidence.
She called 911? Wow.
All those reports have been sealed by the Uvalde police. So public records tied to her death, including 911 calls, police reports, and any public video, any video evidence, have been sealed by the police department. In a letter to multiple outlets, the department insists it would make its case to the Texas Attorney General to keep the files secret Oh, so something's going on here. That decision raised eyebrows. Police typically release information in active cases, even when investigations are ongoing. Many of those files are considered public information and are generally made available. Meanwhile, her boss, Rep. Gonzalez, abruptly shut out reporters days later, canceling press access to a major event in San Antonio. The congressman has been set to attend the opening of a new Southwest research facility on September 22nd. Although he still showed up at the ribbon cutting, the media were told they were no longer welcome to attend. Gonzalez's office has only issued a short statement on her death, calling her a passionate public servant, and she was devoted to Uvalde. Quote, "We're all heart-stricken by the recent news. Regina devoted her profession towards making a difference in her community," he said. The lack of transparency has fueled speculation, especially after questions surfaced about Gonzalez's ties to Uvalde's police chief. Chief Homer Delago publicly endorsed a Republican lawmaker in his re-election bid, a move one local official blasted as inappropriate. Why? I don't know. Is that just not customary down there? I don't know. City councilman said, "We have a chief of police endorsing this candidate, and we have this happen with an employee of Tony Gonzalez. We must remain neutral." Yeah. Something is, once they start sealing the records, something's up. Healthy young woman, you got to believe her mom.
Well, maybe. I mean, if we can play devil's advocate on some of this and say, you know, the immolation, the burning. There's that comment that they believed she was home alone at the time. And how do you know that? Yeah. But I would be curious to know what antipsychotic medication she just started or just came off of.
I would also be curious to know, did she have a relationship with the rep?
Well, there's that too.
Was there any sort of sexual, intimate relationship?
Could be cartels as well, because I mean that's kind of like sending a message.
That very well could be too. Who is this guy doing deals with? I mean, that's in the part of Texas where, you know, it's deep in the heart of Texas. That's what I'm trying to say. But we'll move on here. Here's a question for everyone. Why is Gen Z protesting around the world, Gretchen? Why are they protesting around the world? Gen Z. Do you know?
I'm assuming because they're NPCs. They do whatever they're told.
Well, I didn't think of that, but yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But here's, I'll play this.
Wait. Also, let me sum it up as this way. Trump.
Okay. Yeah.
Regardless of country, somehow Trump.
Maybe. I'll play the news report.
Especially the European protesters. They hate somebody else's president.
Well, we'll bring this up. We'll listen to this report, this critical, important report.
From Madagascar to Nepal to Peru. Gen Z protests erupting in pockets around the globe in recent months. Though the individual causes vary, they share a common thread. Protesters in their teens and 20s angry at the state of their countries, organizing on social media and taking to the streets.
These are the digital natives. The generation obviously is very, very comfortable organizing on social media. It's their natural medium for expressing themselves.
In Madagascar, what began as anger over water shortages and power blackouts has
morphed into a
national
there.
movement. At least one Madagascar protester saying they were inspired by what they saw online in Nepal. Another student protester saying the whole population can't take it anymore. We are here because we suffer. Our family suffers. Everybody suffers.
When people see something successfully happening in another country where people my age, so these are young people who see these protests on social media almost instantaneously, right? And they think, well, if they can, why can't we?
Despite the president of Madagascar dissolving the government Monday, demonstrators continue demanding his resignation. At least 22 people have been killed and more than 100 injured, according to the UN. In Morocco, protests also turning deadly. Authorities saying 2 people were killed in clashes Wednesday. as the country's youth accuse leaders of prioritizing funds for the 2030 World Cup instead of needs like schools and healthcare.
Man, you are a fat slob.
Last month, demonstrators in Nepal against corruption, nepotism, and a nationwide ban on social media, setting fire to the parliament building. A Gen Z representative saying, "We have unanimously recommended the interim prime minister to form the functioning government."
This
Popping
is
up in protests around the world,
parade.
a form of the
Maybe.
Jolly Roger flag. Originally from the best-selling Japanese comic and anime series One Piece, the flag now a symbol of Gen Z defiance. From France, the Philippines, Indonesia,
Interesting.
Peru, Argentina, and even in Madagascar, as youth movements pop up in different corners of the world, governments might need to rethink how they respond to a generation that demands change.
Okay,
In Madagascar, protesters suspended their demonstrations in the capital for 24 hours yesterday over concerns of the health and safety of those involved, but the rallies continued throughout the rest of the country. Tom?
Valerie Castro for us. Valerie, we thank.
Yeah, I mean, they're up in arms across the world. Gen Z is saying, we're not going to take it anymore. That's what they're saying. They're upset at government. They're upset probably any number of issues, Gretchen. Probably mostly anime related, it looks like.
Mostly Trump, apparently.
Yeah, I mean,
are they using the Twisted Sister song as their album or as their anthem?
Well, they probably don't want to pay the royalties on that.
They probably don't know that song.
They probably, yeah, I don't think so. I don't think a lot of people know that song. Not Gen Z, you know. Like even when it comes to Spinal Tap, I don't think Gen Z knows a lot about Spinal Tap. Like my wife and I just
There's
watched
a sequel to that.
I know. My wife and I just watched the sequel last night. It's on. Yeah. It was only like the Spinal Tap Part 2, The End Continues, was only out at theaters, I think, for a few weeks, and then it went to Amazon. You could buy it there, and we purchased it because I'm a relatively big Spinal Tap fan. But initially last week we tried to get my stepdaughter and her boyfriend to go with us, and they're like, "Who's Spinal Tap?" And they had no idea. Like they kind of faintly knew the term or the word Spinal Tap, but they weren't familiar with the movie and the comedy and the legend of Spinal Tap. And so when it comes to we're not going to take it anymore, Twisted Sister, I don't think they have a clue, Crashid. They're not going to use that.
You are a disgusting slob!
Yeah, they don't know anything like that.
What kind of a man are you?
They don't know.
Famously, that's Mark Metcalf, the actor Mark Metcalf, who is best known as Niedermeyer in Animal House.
Yeah.
What is that? You're worthless and weak.
Yes, yeah.
He was also in the Savage Steve Holland movie, One Crazy Summer, if I recall correctly.
Oh.
These are the things that I have in my head. I don't know where my car keys are, but I can tell you that.
By the way, so Spinal Tap 2, the movie, would I recommend it? I would say it takes about 20 minutes to get into, but overall there's some funny parts.
Do they do it as a mockumentary again?
Yeah, okay, of course. And they have some big cameos because over the years since that movie came out, it's gained quite a cult following, not just with like regular folks, but people in bands. They love the movie. And so they got some pretty big cameos in the movie.
Now, were the cameos understated and they just showed up and you're like, hey, look at that? Or was it like, did they really call attention to it and it was distracting?
A couple of both. But I wouldn't say they were distracting. It actually kind of was for the story and it kind of worked out. There's some really hilarious moments. But as with any band or franchise or movie that tries to recapture the magic, it's very difficult. It's very difficult to recapture that lightning in the bottle that they got. But I think they did a pretty good job. I'd give it 3.5 stars out of 5. So, we're going to move on, people. Okay, I'm going to do one more headline, and then we're going to take some phone calls, and then we're going to get to Gretchen. Let's see here, just some headlines here. Ex-President Nicolas Sarkozy was sentenced. It looks like he may have been taking money related to Libya. So that's a big one. And then another one, another Libya-related headline here: U.S., Italy, and Turkey alignment could push the needle in Libya. So something's going on with Libya. Libya's back in play in a big way.
Well, that's the place to go if you want live slave markets.
Yeah. Let's see here. The UK is set to roll out mandatory digital IDs, people. Okay,
This is not good.
There you go, people. Our friends in the UK, get ready for your digital IDs. They're going to roll it out.
That's some good news on that front.
No, it's not.
It's not.
No, it's not. We don't want
Well,
that.
actually, let me think about this one. From an Alex Jones perspective, that is good news because you can now point to that as what he's been pushing for, or not pushing, but he's been talking about for 20 plus years.
So the only bright side on this is that they may be playing their hand too fast. And that could be a good thing. That they're introducing this digital ID too quickly, especially when there's a lot of unrest in the UK. And that since they're introducing it right now, there might be enough pushback to where they can't do it, at least not for another 10 years. So that could be good for us. We'll see. And then, I'm not sure if you know about this, people, but there is a craze out there, Labubu. You know about Labubu, Cratchit? It's basically the new Beanie Babies, but for...
Oh, these are those dolls, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm aware of them, I guess.
Yeah.
But.
And then we have the Saudi...
What's going on with Labubu? You can't just tease that. And
well, here's a headline here. LeBron James excitedly shows off his pink Labubu on his stylish Louis Vuitton bag. So LeBron James, fellow Akron boy, much like myself, he loves Labubu. But then
he loves Labubu toys, and he loves what do you say, Louis Vuitton bags?
Louis Vuitton bags. I don't have.
He is a huge fan of sweatshops.
Yeah, well, it's we're both Akron guys, and he's got a Louis Vuitton bag, and I don't. Okay.
Labubus. I'm looking up history on this. So they created in Hong Kong.
Well,
and sold exclusively by the China-based retailer Pop Mart.
Yeah, Pop Mart. They create those. Their revenue is going crazy right now, and I have charts and graphs on this. But there is, because it's such a big item, it's a meme item. Fake dolls are being made, counterfeit Labubu dolls, and they have the authorities out of Hong Kong just seized $45,000 of counterfeit Labubu dolls. I know.
$45,000. How much are these? The things are they like Beanie Babies? So they're incredibly expensive.
Yeah, let's take a look at LeBron James sporting his Labubu doll on his Louis Vuitton. There we go. There it is. It's like a little pink, almost like troll doll.
I mean, look at that guy.
Yeah, and it's not cute. It's not fun. It's not funny. But
why are they the thing right now?
I don't know. It became a thing. Probably TikTok. I think all roads point to TikTok on this. But Pop Mart, they are saying they're learning from Disney to capitalize on the success of this toy craze, and their profits are rising. Cratchit, almost 200%. Their revenue has jumped because of Labubu, and it's bonkers out there, people. It's absolutely bonkers. You take a look at this graph. That graph is incredible. It's something else. They're outpacing Mattel and Hasbro when it comes to toys and goofy knickknacks. So there you go.
Isn't that interesting?
I guess so.
Thanks, Alex.
And so when it comes to, let's get to the Saudi review real quick.
Yeah, it's also in the title. You have to cover that.
Yeah. So there's a YouTube video called Bill Burr destroyed his reputation. I guess I'll play a little bit of this.
Yeah, honestly, after you're done with this one, I have a related story that we'll cover before we do phone calls.
Okay. So real quick, Bill Burr destroyed his reputation. Play a little bit of this, and we'll have some news right here.
Usher, Beyonce.
Yeah, I'm going to fast forward to where it's this right here. This is I'll put the link in the podcast description so people can watch this.
on their own podcast in America. Like Tim Dillon originally accepted an offer and he started ranting about how they use slave labor on his podcast, and that got him fired. So these comedians have to censor themselves and just say positive things about Saudi Arabia. They're basically Saudi shills now. Like as soon as Chris DiStefano got there, they put a camera in his face and made him talk about how much he loves Saudi Arabia.
I'm loving this country so far. I've been here for about 10 hours. I've eaten more food than you can imagine. I want to know what I can do to become a Saudi citizen. My first time ever, I've never even been to the Middle East. But when I'm here now, I literally am like, why was I always so... Why did I never want to come here? I wish I would have come here 10 years ago. I want to hopefully, I'd like to start another family with in the Middle East and not tell my family back home. I'd like to live 2 lives.
And this is obviously what the festival is mostly about, just them doing positive PR for Saudi Arabia. So these comedians will never live this shit down. Like every comedian that didn't do it is just going to be busting their balls about it, especially the ones that turned down offers, which is going to be great. I'm looking forward to that. I mean, Bill Burr needs to be roasted for this. Like, other than Chris, he might be shilling the most so far. It sounds like he really wants to do more gigs there. Like, he does not give a fuck. I mean, he's getting a ton of backlash. His fans are so disappointed. All his comments are negative, and people want to hear what he has to say about it. And he did address it on the most recent episode, but he just talked about how amazing it was and how it's the best thing he's ever done, which is exactly what the Saudis want. Like, this is why they're really paying him. And he obviously wants to keep doing gigs there and making $1.5 million a show. Whew. So, of course, he's going to go all out shilling for the Saudis.
Of Saudi Arabia is what I've seen, like, on the news. I literally think I'm going to fucking land, and everybody's going to be screaming, "Death to America!" And they're going to have, like, fucking machetes and want to, like, chop my head off, right? Because this is what I've been fed about that part of the world, right?
Bill Burr cannot be that stupid to where he thinks that Saudi Arabia is some back ass where they're an extremely rich and powerful nation. They might be backwards a little culturally when it comes to more of these socially progressive items that he cares about. But they're multi-millionaires, multi-billionaires, and they're not going to have you land down and chop off your hands. They love American entertainment. They want to own American entertainment. They're not backwards. And so, obviously, either he's playing dumb or he really is dumb.
And we're flying over it. It's nothing but like these.
So this stuff he's talking about right now, is this recent?
Yeah.
About his recent trip, or is this because I saw a video earlier this week where they were juxtaposing his comments years ago to his comments now, and so that's what I was curious. Is this years ago or is this recent?
This is just a few days ago.
Okay,
just a few days ago after he got back, he got paid his money.
It's in sand. It's like nothing, and I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck did I get myself into? And then we land, and everybody's just regular. They're dressed different, but they're regular. Like people just shooting the shit. Hey, how you doing? Welcome. We're saying, hey, we're happy to be here. And we're driving around, and then I'm just like going like, I thought this place was going to be like really tense. And I'm thinking like, is that a Starbucks next to a Pete's Coffee?
Well, I mean,
has he never left the country?
And has he only been to like the good parts of certain cities? It's like,
if he's over there basically as the guest of the what would you call it, a guest of the kingdom?
Yeah, he's being treated well.
He's going to get the best treatment. He's only going to see the best parts of the country, their newest buildings, their fanciest restaurants. All he's going to get top tier white glove service all the way through. So of course he's going to be. This was great. This is fantastic. Everyone should go. It's the same thing you hear when what was it? You had all these Hollywood celebrities about 15 years ago all going to the UAE and talking about making a second home there, and they wanted to make it into like kind of a vacation spot, and they were building those crazy islands out in the Gulf that were like in the shape of a palm tree or in the shape of the world and all this stuff. So they're only seeing that aspect of it. And you can do the same thing even in the U.S. You can only see if all you do is see your trip to Disneyland all the way through on Disney stuff, it's going to be perfectly magical for you, unless you're staying at that trashy Star Wars hotel.
Oh, yeah. This doesn't exist anymore, Cratchit. They took that thing down. But
it's now full of Labubu.
I don't think Bill Burr tried to stop off at a Saudi bar and grab a drink. Or
no, it doesn't work that way.
No, or stop off at the local glory hole.
Oh, I hit the glory hole right here.
And they'll chop your weenus right off. But yeah, I'm sure the Saudis they're not extremely backwards.
So they're backwards. They know exactly what they're doing.
They know exactly what they're doing. And in fact, I don't want to dwell too much on that, but what else is Saudi up to is that Saudi Arabia, this is a press release from Electronic Arts, EA. They announced an agreement to be acquired by PIF, Silver Lake, and Affinity Partners for $55 billion. So EA Sports, EA Games, they're no longer owned by the U.S. or U.S. investment.
French conglomerate. No, that's Activision.
The PIF. So PIF is the Saudi investment company. And so the PIF is, let's see here, where's that? So it is the public investment fund for Saudi Arabia's sovereign wealth fund, and acts as a major vehicle for the state to invest domestically and abroad. And so they are now partners in EA. They want that. And they also are major contributors and owners of Saudi military industry. They also do a lot with AI. They own the Humane, which is HUMAIN, the Saudi AI company there, which, if you remember, a few months ago, we covered the Saudi AI conference where they had robotic humanoids there, and they were like a leader. Saudi was a leader in that. And
remember when Trump went over there and they all touched the orb?
Yeah, the Trump golden orb, exactly. And let's not forget, the PIF is also they want to build that mega city in the desert that is 55 miles long.
The wall or
the
whatever.
Wall, yes. They are trying to build that Blade Runner city in the middle of the desert. They have money. They have billions of dollars. And not but a few months ago.
Sorry, the line, not the wall.
The line, yes. It was not but a few months ago that Bill Burr called for the death of all billionaires. And then and that's why he's receiving backlash, is because he was calling for the death of billionaires. And then he goes over there and takes 1.7 million from the Saudis, which that's
the thing from Bill Hicks. Once you take money, you're a corporate shill. You're what did he say? You do a commercial. There's a price on your head. You're a turd in my drink. I can't remember the quote.
For 1.7, I thought Bill could command a little bit more money than that.
I was going to say that's kind of surprisingly low.
Yeah,
I would
be honest. To compromise your principles and values, which apparently he doesn't have, but I would say $5 million. That's the number you want to go for.
2 to 3.
Okay.
Because I think famously this started with, wasn't it Beyonce went over, and I don't know if it was Saudi Arabia, but went over to some place like that, may have been, in UAE or somewhere, Dubai.
Qatar.
But went to Qatar. I'm sorry, Qatar, as they say. And I think she got $1 million for a private concert for somebody, sort of thing. So I think that kind of started this. Hey, we can basically rent celebrities.
Yeah.
By the way, I guess just the official quote from Bill Hicks. Here's the deal, folks. You do a commercial, you're off the artistic roll call forever. End of story. You're a corporate shill. You're another whore at the capitalist gangbang. And if you do a commercial, there's a price on your head. Everything you say is suspect, and every word that comes out of your mouth is now like a turd falling into my drink.
Yes.
So that said, Israel, where's my $150 million?
Yes. News has come out that Israel's paying some influencers $7,000 a post online.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something. That's something right there, people.
There's a in a semi-related note, but it's like those sponsored posts and things. I definitely think they need to be marked as such, and they need to be, flagged. This is a sponsored post, or this was part of whatever, so people are aware of it. But I don't think we'll ever get that far, because then you just write a bigger check to Twitter, TikTok, whoever it is, and they shut up about it.
Yeah. So what do you say?
So I did put the Dave Chappelle story that related.
Okay.
In Carrot Shop about this same, because he was also at the same exact comedy festival in Saudi Arabia.
Oh yeah, he had some big words to say. So Dave Chappelle criticizes free speech in America at Saudi Arabia Comedy Festival.
I'm upset by this.
He, quote, "It's easier to talk here than it is in America," the comedian told the audience at the Riyadh Comedy Festival. Well, it depends on what you're saying. Dave Chappelle criticized the status of free speech in the United States while on stage at the Riyadh Comedy Festival in Saudi Arabia. The comedian was one of more than 50 performers participating in the event, which has come under fire for being held in a country which has been accused of human rights violations and an oppressive regime. Quote, "Right now in America, they say that if you talk about Charlie Kirk, that you'll get canceled," Chappelle told an audience of 6,000. "I don't know if that's true, but I'm going to find out." He then added, "It's easier to talk here than it is in America." What do you say about Charlie Kirk then? Did he find out? Like, what do you say? I don't know. Let's see. Chappelle later noted that he feared returning to the United States because they're going to do something to me so that I can't say what I want to say. I don't know if that's true. It's fine. Like if he's not on FCC regulated airwaves, then your speech is not really regulated. You're fine, Chappelle. I think you're okay. Only so one local audience member referring to ABC's brief suspension of ABC Live reportedly marveled that it was surprising to hear Chappelle talk about Charlie Kirk in Riyadh when just recently America canceled Jimmy Kimmel doing the same. Given Chappelle is obviously a comedian, anything he says on stage could arguably fall under the rubric of, well, he was just kidding. But his comments are, at the very least, rather ironic. In Saudi Arabia, media outlets are licensed by the government, and there is a long list of prohibited speech from anything that inflames public opinion against the state to promoting non-Islamic religious expression or speech that supports activist causes. So it sounds like he's he can't say certain things there. But Bill Burr, they quoted Bill Burr here saying he loved the experience. It was a great experience. So,
it's the best.
He said everyone was happy. The people there were thrilled that we were there. The comedians that I've been talking to saying, dude, can you feel the audience? They wanted it. They wanted to see a real stand-up comedy. It was a mind-blowing experience. Yeah, I'm sure the money helped too. So there you go.
Mike, I'm going to get you a first-class round-trip ticket to Saudi Arabia. We're going to pay you $1.5 million. Can you go back on your podcast and tell people all about it?
You know what? Dennis Rodman had positive things to say about North Korea, too. People called him a lunatic. But his experience was different than your average person.
Yeah, remember when we almost had peace between North Korea and South Korea, and then Push Broom mustache guy showed up and screwed up that whole thing?
Huh. Well, people, I think
I think Chappelle, if he was really wanted to lean into free speech, he should have done his entire set should have been about 9/11.
That would have been interesting.
I mean, had a car accident on the way back to the airport.
Was the entire thing filmed? I'd like to see what the stand-up routines were by these comedians.
That's a good point. Is this something that's going to be available as a purchased special? You can get the 2-hour special or whatever on Netflix or something. Because I want to see, were they doing the same material? Was this all new? Was it very like middle of the road, milquetoast, don't offend anybody sort of thing?
Well, Saudi Arabia, they're trying to rebrand. As what they're trying to do with their acquisition of EA, it was rumored a couple years ago that they were looking, at least some Saudi royals were trying to purchase Star Wars. They are trying to get into entertainment. And if they're trying to get into entertainment, they're trying to
make the money.
They're trying to rebrand. And if they want to rebrand, they got to put out the special, the Riyadh comedy special, to show it that how good it was, and so they can attract more comedians next year. And maybe this is ultimately a good thing, a positive change for Saudi Arabia. This exchange of cultures here in comedy, maybe ultimately down the line, it could lead to some reforms in Saudi Arabia, but I don't know.
It's interesting. So if you go to the website for the Riyadh Comedy Festival, it goes through October 8th. It goes for another toward the.
Bill Burr got the hell out of there then.
Right, they didn't stick around. That's interesting. You would have thought if there was really a festival, okay, come over and do your set opening night, and then hang out for the week and a half, just kind of visiting. But he pieced right out.
Yeah, Bill. Like if we're paying you 1.7, we want you to stick around the entire time. Go get some Burger King. Go get some Starbucks here. We want pictures of you smiling and eating Whoppers. Okay. But no, he got out of there.
A lot of big names here. Louis C.K., Jimmy Carr, Tom Segura.
Big Jim Tucker.
Big Jim Tucker.
Big Jim Tucker appeared.
Wayne Brady.
Wayne Brady was there. All right.
Yeah. Well, he's Tom Pappert was there. Yeah.
Tom Pappert.
Interesting.
It's Jeff Goldberg.
I don't think Jeff Goldberg was a. Hey, real quick, were any of the comedians Jews?
I don't know.
I would
not.
I mean, some of the best comedians we have in America are Jewish. Was Seinfeld invited? We have was Larry David invited? I would like to know. I would say, maybe not.
I'm going to guess probably not.
Yeah, but, some of the best comedians that we got here in America are Jewish. So were they not invited? Why is no one bringing that up?
I think they should have invited America's comedian Kurt Metzger.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He would have been awesome.
Just all 9/11 the whole time.
That and Sam Tripoli. They could have tag teamed this shit.
That's George Soros.
All right, Crash. We got to do some phone calls real quick.
Yep.
We're going to take 1 or 2 phone calls. If you call up, please start off the phone call saying, hey, yo, please. We're trying to keep everything nice and calm here. So you can call up with a hey, yo. All right. Trying to keep everything even keeled here.
Now let's go ahead and take the phone calls.
We're going to do that right now. Number is 513-461-2175. And we're taking phone calls now. Please be on topic. Have a clean phone line and don't cuss. All right?
Your phone's a little muddy. Get up close to that receiver.
Yeah, if you got a muddy phone, get close to it. Really close. Caller, you are on the air.
Ciao, Bella.
Hey, yo.
Hey, yo.
Hey, what's happening, Mike? Pritchard, what's going on?
Who we talking to?
This is Adam. I'm down here in southeast Ohio.
Oh, nice. Nice. What's
down
going
by
on?
The river here.
Oh, yes. Very close to West Virginia.
Yeah, oh, yes. So first I want to say I'm glad you got those Walking Dead cards and they didn't get lost in the mail.
They're right back there behind me.
Yeah, but he earned a spot on the shelf. I just saw him and I was like, made me think of the show. I'm like, all right, we'll send a little early treat.
I still watch the show. There's, unfortunately, they still got me, so I'm still watching.
Yeah. The first 3 seasons are awesome. The rest, I like them somewhat, but the first 3 are killer. So I was going to talk about some heavy metal. You like heavy metal, right?
I do. I'm not necessarily a metalhead, but I know a little bit about heavy metal.
Right. Well, I made this observation at the Incarceration Festival up in Mansfield this summer. You familiar with that?
No, I'm not familiar with the festival. Who played?
Oh, they got tons of people. I mean, the big ones were, Lamb of God, Slaughter to Prevail.
Big one.
Slipknot. It's a huge thing. It's at the old reformatory in Mansfield where they filmed the Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah, that place is haunted.
Yeah, it's creepy. It's like a tattoo heavy metal fest. They do it every summer. You should check it out. It's sweet. But I noticed, they all get going in the big circle pit.
Yeah.
So, about a third of the people are, skipping. The pace of it kind of devolves into a skip. So you see some people...
I think that's a way to conserve energy.
Yeah.
I think so.
It's just hilarious.
But
once you see it, you can't unsee it,
That is an interesting observation. Yes, circle pits have evolved, and now you're saying that they gallop or skip around it. I'll have to check that out. Next time I watch like a live concert, I'll watch their feet and see if they get airborne a little bit. Interesting.
Yeah, dude. Well, so last weekend I was up in Cleveland to see Kublai Khan TX. They're awesome. And they got a big circle pit going, and I was like, boom, there it is. So now I'm convinced about a third of the people will end up skipping in the circle pit, which I found hilarious because they're like big metal dudes and boots and crazy hair and everything, and then they're like skipping around in a circle.
have the pits stopped doing? Because when I stopped going to shows or getting close to pits, there was a lot of karate moves and karate kicks going on, and there were a lot of injuries. Has the karate kicking stopped?
There's always at least like a few dudes doing that, just like high stepping and throwing elbows around. You know what I mean? But it's much less than in years past, I would say.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
It's tough. Yeah, I haven't gone to a hardcore metal show in quite a while, and if I go to shows now, I pay the extra money so I can sit in seats, so I don't have to be close to the pit. I'm just too old. I'm too old now. Like.
Right.
In my 30s, I would probably be right up there, but anymore, I just can't do it. I'm a fancy boy now. I'll pay for comfort.
Right. Well, the funny thing is, like, I grew up listening to metal, you know, like in the 90s and thrash metal and stuff, and you know, then over the last few decades, you know, most people I know, they're just not into that, so it kind of fell off. But then my son, when he got into high school, he was getting into Slayer and, you know, all this kind of stuff. So it kind of brought it back online. So we've been going to shows with him. And now I'm like, man, this is great. I'm way bigger than I used to be.
Oh, you can throw your weight around now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm like, man, I used to remember feeling intimidated. And now I can just be like, get out of my way. You know, so loads of fun. Anyway, so I just thought I've been wanting to call for a while. Thought I'd throw that out there.
Well, I appreciate the observation here in the Columbus area. The crowds here notoriously do not move in Central Ohio. Even when I saw High on Fire, not but last year, right around this time, the crowds don't move. It's awful for traveling bands to play here because there's no movement in the crowds in Columbus. It's weird. We're all like statues here. So. It's good that you're seeing some pits where you're going, because I don't see that here. So,
yeah. Well, and I'll tell you, it was cool. I was glad to hear you do that little quick memorial for Brent Hines a few shows ago. We saw them they came through with Lamb of God and played in Cleveland a few years ago, or last summer, I think, and did like the whole Ashes of the Wake and Leviathan. It was fantastic. Great circle.
They're a great band. They're a fun band live. I've seen Mastodon, I don't know, probably 5 or 6 times, and it's just been they're like one of my favorite bands because they just continue to evolve, and they're very, very well written pieces of music. So,
oh, absolutely. They even had the Sasquatch thing come out when we saw them up in Cleveland. You ever seen that? It's like the 10-foot, like crazy Sasquatch.
No, I haven't. No, like I saw them the last time I saw them, they were on tour with Deathlock, and that was probably 2011, 2012, and never saw them after that. Just got too lazy.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, you can blow me up. I'm going to go drink some Topo Chico and have a Reuben sandwich.
All right, man. Take care.
Later.
God dog it, I just dropped my water. Son of a gobble it.
There we go. That was a good call. We talked about metal. We're going to move on to Cretched. It doesn't get better. He came in with a hey yo, and we can't ruin the good streak right there. So,
hey yo,
Cretched, are you ready for some fun and entertainment?
Sure. There's lots of stuff deep down there in the crevice.
Let's do it.
All righty. Let's see. Let's start with this one. Because we love these cross-promotional limited-time items. Get this into the carrot shop for you, and credit for this goes to Well, now I'm not sure. Is it Eli or Ellie? I'm not sure what her.
I think
not what her pronunciation is. But credit to Ellie in the Discord for putting this one in, or Eli.
Progresso launches barbecue smoke-scented Pitmaster Deodorant to pair with new soup line.
That's a huge piece of news.
You're going to read that sentence a few times.
I don't even know what this means. Progresso Soup has done it again and is out with a limited edition item to pair with a new soup. This summer, the soup brand from General Mills introduced Progresso Pitmaster, a new line of barbecue-style soups. Okay, that sounds pretty good.
Okay.
While General Mills says the soup gives you all the flavor of the grill without any of the work, the soups were missing that smoky essence that comes with outdoor barbecuing. So General Mills launched the barbecue smoke-scented Pitmaster Deodorant to pair with the Pitmaster soup. So I got to put on this deodorant before I make the soup or after I make the soup? I'm assuming before.
I guess is the concept for people who stand in the smoke for hours.
Yeah.
They want that smell as they then go back in the house, I guess. I don't know.
The limited edition deodorant is available in its pit kit, which also comes with a can of its new soup. According to the news release, the limited edition...
Can you use the soup as deodorant, too?
I don't see why not. Just pour it right on your body. Bathe with it.
They should just label that shower gel. Someone will do it.
I need an AI. We need an AI image of someone standing in the shower pouring soup all over themselves. And that's the artwork for this podcast right here. If you can't do it, Crash, I'll do it after the show. And people want to know, what AI image generator do you use for some of the artwork that you make?
I use Sora.
Sora, okay.
Now it's gotten way better.
So General Mills launched the barbecue scented Pitmaster deodorant to pair with this Pitmaster soup. According to the news release, the limited edition Pitmaster deodorant has the signature smell of the barbecue pit, designed exclusively for your pits. The limited edition Pitmaster pit kit pairs with the deodorant. Okay, they're just saying the same thing over and over and over again. How to get it? So the limited edition pit kits are $15, which includes shipping, and are available while supplies last. You can order them at progressopitkit.com. Okay, let's see if I can get one right now.
You're gonna be
sorry. The kits are sold out. Holy crap!
What the fuck?
I can try again on the 16th.
And I wonder, did they actually make any of these, or all they have to do is announce it, and then say it's sold out?
And now there's a demand, an artificial demand for dumbasses like me that kind of want to check it out, and I'd buy it. $15, yeah.
All right.
$15, little man.
Ah, man, they had me.
I don't understand the attraction here to having a barbecue smoke scented deodorant.
I don't get it either, but there's something, I don't know. I kind of want it now. Yeah.
This is what I want. This is what I need.
I need to smell like I've been
to smell like a barbecue
standing in front of my Traeger smoker all afternoon.
Yep. I guess here's the thing. I think guys like that scent. I'm not sure though? I'm not sure that women do. So if you're putting this deodorant on, you're doing it for other guys, which is fine. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but know that your woman probably doesn't want you smelling like barbecue. I'm assuming. Ladies, chime in if I'm wrong. But I know when I'm out there grilling on the open fire, I come in and I smell like smoke. I smell like campfire, and my wife comments, "Hey, you smell like a campfire," and it's not appealing. It's not.
You should say no. That's my Progresso barbecue smoke scented pit kit deodorant.
Pretty good, huh?
I don't think she'd be impressed. But
by the way, here's your photo.
Oh, there it is. Okay, there's some. It is Campbell's. It's not Progresso, but that'll do. It kind of gets the message across. And they do look like they're having a good showering experience. That's good. All right. All right, Crutcher, let's see what else you got over there.
Is this what you want from me?
You want some follow-up news? This is a story we covered many, many times.
People love follow-up. People want to know what's going on.
Unfortunately, this is posted as a Twitter thread, so you kind of have to dig through it a bit. But I believe this is credit to our good buddy Herman for digging this one up. Herman loves the UFO-related stories. And here's our a follow-up on a story we covered several times about 3 years ago.
Okay. I don't mind a Twitter thread. Oh, my Lord. Okay.
It's almost as good as the return of Penis Man.
Oh, boy. Okay. FBI Jetpack Man files are out, and the pilot testimony blows the official story apart.
That's some good news on that front.
Oh, yes. We've covered this story so many times. I think we were one of the only shows to habitually and continually give updates on Jetpack Man, or the phenomenon that was being reported as Jetpack Man. Mm-hmm. For years, headlines pushed the Jetpack Man over LAX. Pilots swore they saw a person flying at 3,000 to 6,000 feet near incoming airliners. Now the FBI has coughed up its case files after a FOIA fight by the blackvault.com. Thank God John Greenwald and Black Vault really pushed this. And one pilot's testimony changed everything. The China airline captain who supposedly saw the man with the jetpack in 2020 later told the FBI he no longer believed it was human-shaped. There were no propellers, no jet engines, in fact, no visible propulsion at all. So what the hell was it? So the case ID, possible person with jetpack possibly flying near American Airlines flight in 1997 as the airplane approached Los Angeles International Airport. The strange object was at 6,000 feet, moving horizontally 100 to 200 meters from the wide body's jet's wingtip. The captain saw it for about 2 seconds, enough to know that it wasn't a balloon and didn't match the size and shape of a person. So violation in question, what was the exact crime that occurred? Unidentified man seen flying jetpack near LAX. That's what, according to the report back from the FOIA. The files show that the American Airlines crew first spotted August 30th, 2020. JetBlue crew saw something similar minutes later. The FBI opened a case file. By 2021, cargo and Cessna pilots were still reporting a humanoid-looking object around LAX. A Calita air pilot described a reddish 5 to 6 foot object in 2021, larger than a balloon, smaller than a helicopter. So that's quite a size difference. I mean, that's huge. That could be anything.
Balloon. Well, what they're saying is, as far as like a small craft in that particular case, people are going to say, oh, you saw a helicopter coming, kind of flying towards you. So when you glance at it for 7 to 8 seconds, but what they're saying is, no, it was quite a bit smaller than that, but it wasn't tiny like someone released some balloons in the sky.
They said initially they thought it was a person, then they saw it for several seconds, and they realized it wasn't. Public tips flooded the FBI. One person blamed a graffiti tagger posting jetpack videos. Another reported a guy in San Pedro with a Hawk-like drone that landed on his arm. The Bureau chased leads but came up empty. Once again, the FBI can't find anything unless it's given to them. What's really interesting is that the FBI admits it obtained video evidence in December 2020. It was logged into the CD, but they didn't realize it.
Didn't release it.
120 pages of files are still withheld. What's on those tapes? We will get to see them. When we get to see them, jetpacks can't do what was reported, not at those altitudes, not with that duration. The FBI knew that. Why else would they bury the case for 4 years under ongoing investigation? The mystery isn't solved. If anything, the official files make it even weirder. the Jetpack Man wasn't a man. At least one airline captain ruled that out. It had no propulsion, was the wrong size and wrong shape. So what was flying in controlled airspace over Los Angeles from 2020 to 2021? The FBI release is interim. More files are coming. Maybe the video, possibly even the withheld 120 pages. Huge thanks to Black Vault. So the update, even it just has more questions, more mysteries. We don't know anything. It's still elusive. It's not a balloon. It's not a man. We don't know what this thing is. But
it had to be a man in a monkey suit.
The goblin.
It could be a goblin. I don't know if it was a flying man in a monkey suit, but that's just as valid as anything we got going on right now.
It had to be a man in a monkey suit.
Yeah.
Or it could have been a balloon.
Spaceman.
All right, I think I'm going to put a rocket up through there.
Okay.
It was the guys from Skinwalker Ranch just firing rockets.
Yep. They're going to do.
UAP right there.
Yeah, maybe.
We got a UAP, y'all.
I guess it is. The Jetpack Man is kind of a UAP.
Technically, it would be a UAP.
Yeah.
This is really interesting.
All right. One more story, Crasher. That was a great follow-up, though. Great follow-up.
Yes.
All right. So this one comes from your future guest co-host, Joe from Legit Bat.
Okay.
Initially posted this one, but he had like one of those, it's a video of a video of a video of a video.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, I can't run that on the show. We need the original video.
Yeah, it helps.
Credit to Awake Jake for tracking down the original and for White Rabbit for calling attention to it. So credit to all three of those people in the Discord for bringing you this, which comes from InfoWars.
Hey, yo.
Big hey, yo to those guys for helping
InfoWars
us out.
went all out with an AI-generated, short video, which is just meme central.
Wow, okay.
So just very, very deep into the memes on this one.
All right. Let's check this out. Let me see if I can bring this up on the screen and play it simultaneously.
Holy shit, H. Jones, get the fuck out of here.
We need to go now. The deep state is scraping our signals. They're eating the babies. No time to explain.
Go where? It's 4 a.m. Nigga, what the fuck?
Antarctica.
This is crazy.
What is this place?
Home.
Alex Jones and I think Charlie Kirk flying into Valhalla and Hollow Earth, and they're meeting the Pope of the underworld. And it's Hulk Hogan there. Holy shit.
I'll see you in Valhalla.
Holy moly. Oh my God. Yeah, AJ really leaned into that, where it was an AI masterpiece of, I think, was that Cyborg Charlie Kirk escaping?
Yeah, it was Cyborg Charlie Kirk and Hulk Hogan, and they went to, I mean, arguably, did they go to the Hollow Earth or to New Schwabenland?
Yeah,
or,
yeah.
You know, where were they heading? Notice Alex Jones still had his little Hitler stash going there.
Yeah.
Where am I?
Yeah, I mean, Hulk Hogan was down there. He was down there hanging out with McAfee too. McAfee was down there.
I've never been here before.
And a white version of Cash Patel.
Yeah, yeah.
What is this place?
Wow, that was insane. Insane. Very well done. Taking AI to the limits, what AI should be used for, which is complete nonsense.
Hey, the more that we make, the closer we are to escaping the simulation.
We might be. You know, you create enough crap and we can get the hell out of here. That is one of my themes. I think I can use the AI against itself. So I am re-recording some of the AI songs. So I'm putting my human touch.
putting the AI back into itself?
Yes, I am. I am taking some of the AI songs. I'm like playing the instruments. I'm doing my best to sing. My voice is not up to par. After being out of commission for like 7 years, I got to get my voice back up to screaming quality. Re-recording the songs, and then I'm going to upload them as my own, turning the AI basically back at itself. And I think at that point in time, I can finally become a rock star. And I think it's going to work. I initially started this podcast in an effort to promote my music and my bands. That's the only reason. That's why I started the podcast. It's to say, hey, I got a band, check it out. But now I'm going to create music to say, hey, check out my podcast. And that's it's just the cycle of life here. But I think that's how we can defeat
what you do is when you get big and you're on stage, you do that thing in the middle of a song where you bring it down. You keep playing, but you do kind of a spoken bridge.
Yes.
And then you just play episodes of the podcast.
Yeah, exactly. And once I come out
while the backing band has to play for the next 2 hours.
I'm getting ready to record Living in Michigan, a Michigan grocery store song, and this is going to be a hit. This is a hit. It doesn't matter if it was written by AI. I wrote the lyrics from a news story. And so that's all that matters, people. You got to turn the AI back on itself.
You're going to break the simulation.
That's the point. I think if one of my re-recorded AI songs goes to number one, it will prove that we're in a simulation and it will break itself. It won't know what to do.
I am still waiting for that, for the first AI written song to go, to the top of the pops, as they say. I think in a couple other countries there's been some EDM and similar songs which are admittedly AI generated that have gotten very popular. But it's only a matter of time till we get that to the top of the Billboard charts.
I agree. And if I can bring back rock to the Billboard charts, it's got to happen with some nasty ass guitar tones and some crazy stuff.
Nasty ass guitar.
Well, your Waylon Jennings is not far off. I think your Waylon Jennings AI is almost there. I would say if we work on the prompting, not even the prompt. The prompt's fine, but the structure of the song, add a pre-chorus and a bridge. I think this is it. There's something here. There is. This is good enough. It's a good enough base to where we can take it to the next level. Country's big, Cratchit. Country's huge. Not sure if you heard, but it's big.
Breaker 19.
Listen to that.
Here's the rubber duck rolling through on National CB Day. Got a Smoky in the median and a Kojak with a Kodak flash and steel. All you gear jammers keep it shiny side up and back.
Hell yeah.
We're riding clean and talking mean. 10-4, good buddy.
See that? I mean, that's solid stuff.
Hey, do you have the one from a few weeks ago? I don't know if you saw it. I threw it back into Carrot Shop. Speaking of AI into AI, I reprocessed Everybody Peg Your Jeans with the newest model. I don't know if you heard that one.
I did. I heard it. I don't know. Let's see if I downloaded it. We can play a little bit of it here. Let's see here. Downloads. I think I got
Would have been about a week or two ago.
Let's see here.
Yeah, it was on Wednesday the 24th, week and a half ago. I can get you I can get you a file again if you need.
Yeah, give me the file again. I want to play it real quick. Well, while you get that, I actually I uploaded my micro songs to do covers, and this is a cover, a Soundgarden cover of Chubby Puppy, the micro song.
Oh, there you go. I'm not hearing sound right.
Yeah, well, it's doing the best it can. So it did best. I mean, the original was like, it's pretty close.
What you gonna do? Eating all the food, sniffing all the glue. Chubby puppy.
You want to see the puppy?
And here's the new version of Everyone Peg Your Jeans with the newest model.
This one's a little ditty about life in Ohio.
It sounds really good. It does.
Everyone peg your jeans. I'm a dancing machine. I'm the best that there is or there ever was. I'm a level 10 wizard just casting my spells. You're my girl, you're my elf. Back in 88 I used to masturbate to MTV videos that were on TV. ZZ Top legs always got me off. Bastards of young always made me soft. Oh.
That's good. I mean, it sounds dynamite. So we got to get out of here, Cratchit.
You don't just hear the crowd sing along for the next 10 minutes?
It's awesome. I'll put it on, maybe not the end of this episode, because the CB one is going on the end of this episode, but maybe next time. And it'll definitely go in the next song pack. That's for sure.
Next song pack, that's right.
Yeah.
Join the Patreon, join the Discord, you get the song packs.
Yeah. All the AI songs you could ever want. And there's some good ones in there. Like, it's weird. Like, I do find some of the AI, it really depends on your prompts, I guess, and how it strikes you, but some of the songs that I write, I actually like it better than other modern music being made. Maybe it shows that I'm an NPC, or it speaks to the state of modern day music. I don't know. Maybe I'm an old fuddy-duddy.
Well, I think people like the things they like. You like mid to late 90s kind of darker grungy rock.
Yeah. I'm a 90s kid.
No one's making that now. So you can go back and make those and enjoy the music that you want to hear.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to recapture the moment in time that I fell in love with music, which is late 80s through the mid 90s. I love all that music, and I want more of it. I'm collecting CDs right now from that era. I have a CD collection that I'm gathering, and I will hold on to that and listen to those CDs.
Soon that'll be somehow illegal to have music that's not connected to the cloud.
Yeah. Well, so be it. I got DVDs and CDs. And we'll be back on Wednesday. People, if you want to join us, it'd be great. You can go to obdmpod.com or ourbigdumbmouth.com. I got more Patreon things coming. I'm going to be updating a bunch of content this weekend for people. I think right now, episode 5 from OBDM will be coming out, if it's not out already, on Patreon. So if you want to go back and listen to the super old, cringy episodes, you can. I warn you.
Did you ever find episode 0? You said that's out there.
I got it somewhere. I will post that to a special. I have episode 0. Like the episodes really don't start getting good, in my opinion, until like episode 150. So it's up to everyone to listen or not. So thank you, Cratchit. Thank you, everyone. Shablagoo.
Keep watching the skis. The Jetpack Man is back.
David,
I'll
do it. Just join my team.
I don't want to take calls.
That's about all.
Shablagoo. Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.
Till next time, take care of yourself and each other.
Until next week. Nanu. Nanu.
Beetlegeese.
It's It's October 4th and the airwaves hum. Got my mic in hand and my diesel drum. Coffee's burnt, the road stretched wide. Got a gear jammer's grin and a long haul pride. Breaker 19, yeah, there goes a bandit. Got a pavement princess who just can't stand it. 10-4, good buddy, back it down. Smokey's peeking out just south of town. There's a Kojak with a Kodak taking your plate, so keep it under 68. 10-4, good buddy, hammer down. It's National CB Day all around. Rolling past a lot of lizards and the hunks of junk. Been 3 states deep in a caffeine funk. Got a convoy stack and a chrome moonlight and a load of who knows what do Friday night. There's chatter on the line, it's loud and crude, but that's just how we show our gratitude. Breaker 19, this here's the rubber duck rolling through on National CB Day. Got a Smokey in the median and a Kojak with a Kodak flash and steel. All you gear jammers, keep it shiny side up and back it down. We're riding clean and talking mean. 10-4, good buddy. Now the apps and streams can fade away. We're talking analog style on a chrome highway. Ain't no firmware, ain't no patch, just a diesel hum and a static scratch. So to all you gear jammers with bugs on your glass and that lucky rabbit's foot hanging off your dash, when the sun dips low and the night gets muddy, key up that mic and shout. 10-4, good buddy. 10-4, good buddy, back it down. Smokey's peeking out just south of town. There's a Kojak with a Kodak flash in your face, so keep it tight and calibrate. 10-4, good buddy, over and gone. Catch you on the flip side, rolling on.